Hello, y'all. Day 53, the end of the day. It's 8:55, and I am, if you'll notice, yesterday was 9 o'clock. Today is 5 minutes earlier. We're getting there. We're getting there. I had a project that I wanted to do, and I got done tonight, and I also ended up helping my parents with something that was unplanned. So I think that I actually would be getting everything finished and be laying down close to 9 o'clock if those things hadn't happened. So we're getting there. I'm grateful for grace. Okay. So before I tell you about my day, this is part of my day. I want to encourage all of you, if you have not heard of the movie The Shift, SHIFT. It's an Angel Studios movie that is in theaters right now. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be in theaters. If you guys have not checked that out yet, go see it. It is a modern day kind of retelling-ish of the book of Job. And man, honestly, like I am a person that really enjoys sci-fi type movies and those types of movies. Like I haven't watched this movie in a really long time, but I remember when I watched Inception, I watched it a couple times in a row and I really liked it. This movie honestly kind of reminded me of like a more godly version of that. It was so good. I was like crying throughout it. There was some laughter parts in it, but yeah, it was really, really good. I would encourage all of you to go see it. So if you actually go to, what is it? Atom Tickets, ATOM tickets.com, I think. Ooh. And look for a theater near you to see where it's at. And then you purchase your tickets through there. If you go to the end where it has you pay and you type in ATOM Shift, you can actually get up to 2 tickets for free. So, I don't think I'm probably going to link that down below, but you can message me or put a comment down below and I can type it out a little bit better if you need me to. So I wanted to talk about that. And then I am nearing the end of listening to this book called End of Me by Kyle Idleman, I believe is what it is. I might link that one down below. Depends on how long I'm on here. Oh my goodness. So this book is like wrecking me because it's talking about the fact that we have to come to the end of ourselves if we really actually want to follow Jesus the way that we are called to do, called to live, called to do it. And thinking about this journey of healing and wholeness and health that we're on, we think that we know the best thing for ourselves, and that can turn into an idol, which I've talked about plenty of times. But this book was talking about I'm not to the end of it yet. I have like 30 minutes left of reading in it or listening in it. But this book is so like, from the first chapter, I was like hooked in, and I really haven't been able to put it down. So yeah, I just wanted to put those out there first. Okay. So in saying all that, so I went to church this morning, and, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother thing I didn't even share with you guys yesterday. So my car, or maybe I did, I don't know. I don't remember what I shared with you guys yesterday. So my car is not drivable out of town right now. So last week I went to go drive my parents' car to church, and I got halfway there because I live an hour and 15 minutes from where I serve on Sunday mornings. I was halfway there, and their car started doing weird things with revving the engine and stuff. And so it sounded like it might be something with the transmission or the alternator. So I pulled off into a rest stop, called my dad, and he said, bring it home. So I had already not been there the weekend before because I was not feeling well. And I think I did share that with you guys. So I don't remember if I shared this part. So today I was driving our third vehicle. and made it there fine. I was supposed to come home immediately after church because my dad had a faraway errand to run and needed the good driving out of town car back. And so right when church started, my mom texted me and said, Dad doesn't need the car back. He's not going, but he does need you to bring it back. So at that moment, I was like, man, I wonder if you'd be okay if I stopped like 20 minutes away from our house, because we don't have a movie theater in our city anymore. I wish we did. Then again, I'm kind of okay with it not being here either, because when we had one, it showed like one family friendly movie and the rest of the movies were like rated R and junk. No thanks. So in a way, I'm kind of okay that I have to drive out of town or go somewhere else to watch something, because that means it's not that kind of ick is not invited into our city. So it's still like 20, 25 minutes away. Actually, I think when I got in the car, it said it was 32 minutes away. So it's like 30 minutes away from home, because it's on the southern side of the city away from us. And this movie was still playing. And so I was looking, because my friend and I had talked about going to see this movie together. And we were talking about going to see it next Friday. So I just got curious and looked to see whether or not they had showings up for next Friday. And the showing stopped tomorrow. And there's no guarantee that the movie will continue on into the next weekend. So I was like, oh, I really want to see this movie. I feel like I'm supposed to. It's interesting because the Lord had me start reading the Bible chronologically. And I just last night finished the book of Job. And again, this movie is based on the book of Job. And so I just felt like the Lord was really like, you need to go see this. There's something in it that you need to see. And so I was like, okay. And so I was like, Dad, like, do you care if I go to the movie before I come home? Do you need the car? I'll go to a later show. He's like, no, it's fine. So I went to this movie, and on my way there, my stomach was growling so loud. I was listening to my book over the radio in the car, and I could hear my stomach growling louder than the radio. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to stop and get something. And so I was actually kind of proud of myself at first, because there's a Burger King that's right near there. And so I was like, well, I can just get an Impossible. And I was like, well, usually I get like fries or whatever. And literally the Burger King is like 700 feet away from this movie theater. So I was going to have like 2 seconds to eat this, because of the fact that the decision was made so late that I left the church later than what I intended to. And I was going to barely be making it there at 1 o'clock for the movie. So I order online and realize I have enough points from other purchases other times, not always buying food for myself, but still, that I was able to get this Impossible for free, except I wanted cheese on it, so I paid the 60 cents for cheese. And so I was like, well, that's cool. Went in, got it, had 2 minutes to get to the movie theater, which didn't make it in time. And so I'm like, I know we're not supposed to eat quick, but I'm like trying to like eat this thing. So I get there, and I was quite proud of myself with this. I get there and I'm like, well, I could take the rest of it inside. I know you're not supposed to take food inside. I could just finish it really quick, or I can even like finish it on the walk into the building. And I had about half of the sandwich left, and I was like, you know what? It's just food. I am going to leave half of it in the car, and it'll be, if I'm still hungry after the movie, it'll be here when I get out. Okay. So proud of myself for about 3 minutes, because then I go inside and I get my ticket, and where you get your ticket is also where you get refreshments. And so I had taken my water bottle inside, because this place doesn't care if you take like water in. And so I was like, what? Okay. Normally I would get like an icy potentially, or a drink. And I was like, no, I'm good. And so he was like, would you like any snacks? And I looked up at the thing and I was like, oh, because I was still hungry, mind you. Like I was still hungry. I was like, you know what? Go ahead and give me a pretzel with cheese. Not a good decision, okay? However, I made it. So I get out my card to pay, and he says the amount, and it does not register with me until after he has processed my card. And I'm like, wait a minute. why was it that much? And he was like, huh, I don't know. So he calls his manager over, and this is all like, the movie has already started, okay? Well, not the movie, but like the previews and stuff. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, I gotta hurry up. And she comes over and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. He accidentally hit the nachos button and rang that up as well. And it was cool because they were going to give me, because they had like real fruit snacks. And so I was like, how much are those? And they were like, we'll just give it to you for free because it normally comes in like the kid thing, like where the kids get popcorn and drink and whatever. And she's like, it's cool, we have an overabundance of them, you can just have it. So I was like, well, thank you. This is like before any of this happened. So then she comes over and she's like, I'm so sorry. So she goes like process my card. I'm like, you know what? Again, not great choice, number whatever. I was like, it's fine. No harm, no foul, because the kid was kind of freaking out, and like, he was like, he had just gotten there for work, and she was like, you just got here, how did you already make a mistake? And so I was like, no, it's cool. I said, just give me everything. Just give me the nachos and the pretzel. And so they put cheese on the nachos, cheese on the side of the nachos. I got cheese with the pretzel and the pretzel. And then she gave me 3 packs of fruit snacks, which she didn't have to do that. That was kind. And then she was like, did you get a drink? And I was thinking, no, like, I don't need one. And she goes, drink on us. And so what do? While they're getting my food, I go in, I fill up my cup. It's like probably, I don't know, like a 12-ounce cup. I was looking for lemonade because I was just going to get lemonade. And they didn't have lemonade, so I got Orange Crush, whatever. And so I go in the movie theater. I have all the stuff. And I ate everything. And then when I came out of the movie theater, I finished my burger. And I drank that pop. I haven't eaten anything since then. That was at like between... I also took my time. Like, I didn't scarf it down. It took me about... The movie's like 2 hours. So it took me like it feels like an hour, honestly, to finish the food. And I was kind of waiting for myself to get full, and I just didn't. And so when I came out of the movie theater, I was like, well, my burger's still here. I don't know. I think my thought process went down the pooper when I was like, well, I already screwed up. Don't you love when you do that? Well, I already screwed it up. It's fine. Who cares? I'll just eat the rest of the burger, if I'm not hungry. Again, not smart choices, guys. Not smart choices at all. And then it was really funny because I turned on my book to listen again, and I was like, oh, crap. I definitely did not come to the end of me in those decisions. I was making my own decisions, and I did not invite Holy Spirit in. Good job, Danielle. So, yeah. Did not eat mindfully today. Really, at all. Man, it was like I had a good moment, and then I just kind of got myself into a situation where I was under pressure, and I also wanted to alleviate that kid feeling guilty about making a mistake. And so I was like I just fixed it in that way, and I don't know that was the best way to do it. Plus, I spent more money than what I intended to by a lot because of that. Yeah, the rest of the day, I came home and I was really tired, probably from all the food I ate, and I did sleep well last night. I fell asleep a little bit later than what I wanted to. So, I also hit my snooze a couple times today, so I was kind of tired throughout the day. So I laid down, and then my friend called me, which was good because I probably would have stayed laying down, honestly. And then I got up and went and worked for a little while and clocked out at 8 o'clock. And then did all those other things until I got on here. And I still want to do a couple of other things before I fully, officially lay down for the night. So, yeah. Not the best day on the journey. I've taken care of myself in that sense. I'm glad I went to see the movie. I'm glad for that part. I'm glad I went to see the movie, even if the other stuff that came along with it, not the best. I'm really grateful. But I also feel like if I'm looking for something that I can take from it, I know to maybe next time just take cash and only have enough for the ticket, so that when they ask me for something else, at least until I'm not tempted to purchase something else, that I can say, no, thank you, because I don't even have the money to do it. I guess that's something that I can take from it. If I'm going to take, anything positive from it, besides the movie itself. Like, the movie itself was God showed me a lot of stuff in the movie. I feel like it's different for everybody what they're going to take from it. But for me, it was like there was a lot of interesting parallels to my own life in the movie that just had me sobbing. I was like, I know what that feels like. Sort of. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys had a really good Sunday, and that, you're going to have an awesome night's sleep tonight. You're going to feel rested in the morning and be able to, if tomorrow's your first day of the week of work, that you're going to start off your week well and refreshed and full of peace and joy and love. And if you can believe it, we are how many days away from the beginning of the year? So I know that God's already been kind of showing me there's things that he still wants to do before the end of the year, but then with the new year, there's new coming with that too. So yeah, lean into that. Ask the Lord what he's saying to you. Like, if there's any projects or anything, I'm not talking projects like hobbies or anything like that, but like, it could be that, but anything that the Lord wants you to kind of like sew up by the end of this official Gregorian year, because obviously if we're talking about the Jewish calendar, it's a little different, but the Gregorian calendar that we go by, if there's anything that he wants you to kind of sew up, finish up by the end of the year. And I know that on the other page that people were sharing about praying into their word of the year for 2024. You can also do that as well. So I'm like excited and also nervous in a way, I guess, but it's not like a fear nervous. It's more like a jittery nervous, like how you get when you're standing off in the wings to go and perform something on stage. It's like that kind of nervous excitement about what God has, because I feel like there's big things coming, and not just on like a personal level, but as the body of Christ, there's some really big things coming for the year 2024. So anyway, anything you guys want to share down below, feel free to. And otherwise, I will see you in a couple of hours for our devotional tomorrow morning. Love all of you. Have a great night.